Welcome back, welcome back. The thinking game.
Another afternoon.
Another afternoon, we in the elements.
Oh yeah.
A beautiful background.
Oh yeah. Definitely hot today. The sun is out today.
Yes, that's the natural light.
Not just the real life.
Exactly. The-
So we'd like to thank you guys for watching the podcast. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Help us get to 1K subscribers. That's our first goal, is to get to 1K. And we appreciate your support. So what's our first topic of today, bro?
you can hear my voice even more. All right. The first topic is being whole and knowing who you are before you try to get a career, before you try to chase your dreams, accomplish goals. What's your motivation? Why are you doing this? Why do you want to be a firefighter? Why do you want to be a singer?
Mm,
Is that what you really want?
mm,
Where are you financially,
mm,
yourself, spiritually?
mm.
Health. What about your health? You know what I mean? We always talking about balance, and if it's not where it's supposed to be, what are you doing to get there? Where are you on your healing journey? Nobody's perfect, but at least we gotta be striving for something.
Right, exactly. So do you think not having a father sometimes, you think you would learn it from like um, somebody's older, like a parent figure, father figure, or you think sometimes they get lost in the community, like as far as like, is there something you pick up on, or is there something you need to be taught as being whole? I guess is what I'm trying to say. 'Cause sometimes people, I think I'll probably even skip there. Like I didn't really think about like what makes, like, who am I? You know what I'm
Yeah, are my reactions just like kind of trauma reaction, or am I just reacting to life instead
saying?
of living it
Yeah. Right.
or trying to be something?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make money to get out the hood to survive. So is everything survival? Why do you go to church? Well, I go to church because my mom makes me go to church. Why do I pray? Because it's a tradition in my family.
Right.
So you're not even spiritually whole because you know what I mean. You following somebody else's cues on your own religion, and that's got to be something that's between you and God.
Exactly. They say though you gotta find out for yourself.
So
You gotta find out for
finding your own motivation, for living. You know what I mean. My daddy want me to do good in school, so I do good in school. So they teach you that, but you learn more about. Through observation, my daddy wasn't happy because of this and that. Like I'm not happy, and you gotta give what they gave you and add to that.
Yeah, but I think too, like, if we was talking to a kid, like, as far as how life goes and teaching them that, like, because I think it's something, when I look back, I think there's something that does, like, a man would have to teach a man about understanding, like, who you are. Like, you're not going to automatically, like, just pick up on that. Like, I'm good. Take a while, you know what I'm saying? I'm good with my hands, so I need to do something that's good with my hands, you know what I'm saying? Or even when you start dating, if you don't know who you are, we're gonna get in there here pretty soon. We're gonna get
Yes,
in it,
for
but
sure.
if you don't know who you are, like, do you even know what you like? Like, what are you attracted to?
He's
Or
not lying to you because he doesn't know who he is.
right,
He's going after what he thinks he wants,
right,
and that was
or what's
you,
appeasing at the time?
exactly, or what's popular.
Yeah, because I think sometimes women, they have this notion that guys are attracted to this, and sometimes when you're younger, it's not about what you're attracted to; it's about what's available and opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then trying to, as a woman, modeling yourself of what men like. You know what I
Or
mean?
what you
That
think, yeah.
yeah, or what you
Yeah,
think men like.
yeah.
That's not you. You got to be you too.
Because if you're not, I don't know, in my opinion, if you're not taught who you are, and like, you gotta be taught disciplines, you gotta be taught morals and stuff like that, right? A moral compass or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Because you're not gonna develop that on your own, or you will, but it probably won't be what people deem as the going north. You know what I'm saying? You may go east or west. You know what I'm saying? Because I guess this, like, let's say if you don't teach a kid to have discipline, right? And because we know, we've known this, and we probably went through this right when we was younger. 18-year-old kid gets into a situation with a woman that's like 25. If you're not whole, you don't know who you are, and that woman puts you in that position. most dudes that's 18 not gonna say no to a 25-year-old.
Yeah, I mean that's the
I mean,
thing.
like what 80% probably you say?
Yeah, it's
You know,
saying no.
85.
Yeah, I
So
mean saying yes.
yeah, and we don't know that you don't have to do that, but most dudes like it's an opportunity. Like
But
I
I
should
mean,
put it in my hand. You know
it's
what I'm saying?
kind of you're still growing. We understand like when you're
Right,
18 years old,
right,
you're still growing. You really don't know who you are yet. You know what I mean? And there's some people that's 57 don't know who they really are or what
right.
they really want or what motivates them.
I think at that point though, you're not being honest too though.
Yeah, of course. I mean, a lot of
Yeah,
us are not being honest
yeah,
with themselves or can't take
yeah,
and can't analyze themselves, look in the mirror,
yeah,
and assess
for
themselves.
sure.
So you were talking about raising a child, showing them who they are,
Just
or
giving
being
them the
whole.
concept, or giving them the concept to think about as they grow, right? Like you, like while you're growing, you need to be thinking about these things, set of things. Like
Yeah,
when you're 18 to 25, you really need to be thinking about who you are and what your career gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Same
and
with
then
girls, but don't make that your main focus. You know what I'm
so and that's two things. Like, well, teaching your kid balance,
saying?
right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the what's it? The food pyramid, or like they show you that plate.
Right.
You're supposed to have this much carbs and this much protein, this much sugar and things like that,
Yeah.
this many vegetables. And life is like that. You know what I mean? My protein portion to make me whole might be bigger than yours,
Right.
but then your starches might be. It's like
Right.
that little plate diagram. Y'all know what I'm
And
talking about.
then, like I said, we was talking about last podcast. Picking who you procreate with. You got to know who you are before you start picking. Like what compliments you. Like what, like if let's say if I was a sickly person, right? If I was a sickly person and had sickle cell, if I pick somebody to procreate, I need to make sure that that person is not sickly and have sickle cell. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you asking for a train wreck. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? The
you're putting your
percentages, you got to
you're
understand
putting
those things without getting sensitive
your
about it.
offspring. You know what I mean in the
Yeah,
compromising situation. And another thing too about like the mentoring and the leadership
yeah,
with your kids, you gotta expose them to stuff to see what they're good at.
right. That's true.
So, well, my son don't like basketball. Did you ever take him to a camp? Did you
Right.
ever go to a game with them?
That's a good
Meet
point.
basketball players? Well, my kid don't like computers. What did you ever to give him a tablet? Put him in front of technology.
Of course.
Expose them to that.
Yeah,
You gotta expose cause kids don't like nothing. Nothing. People don't like nothing new.
yeah,
You gotta expose your kid to soccer because they don't know what they don't like because they don't never experience soccer.
right.
Swimming. You gotta expose them to things outside of the box, and that's your responsibility of a parent. And you want to give your kids the most tools to be successful. So you expose them to the stuff and see what they take to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then probably last thing I say about this is they're talking to the young adults now. As you grow and you become an adult and you're on your own out of your parents' circle, now you're on your own now. You have to learn about yourself in everything that you do. Like in your mess ups, you gotta learn about yourself. In your successes, you gotta learn about yourself. In your struggles, you gotta learn about yourself. Like why do I struggle with this, or why am I not good at this? And then you gotta ask yourself the question: do I want to get better, or do I want to just keep where I'm at? You know what I'm saying?
And another point to that, like I want to stay where I'm at. I'm not good at riding bikes.
So, right.
You're gonna be not good at riding bikes your whole life.
Exactly. Right.
So are you gonna try to work on this area or this weakness?
Right.
Well, I don't like people yelling, or don't like this. I had a trauma. Like, are you trying to heal from that?
Right.
Are you going to therapy? Are you praying about it? Researching about what happened to you to get over this. Now, of course, you're gonna have triggers.
Right.
Things are gonna remind you. You know what I mean. Your grandma died when you was 5. You know what I mean, and you 35, and it's still gonna be sad when you're 35, but it shouldn't be paralyzing grief that you can't go to work for 2 weeks
So
because you thought about
Why
it.
you looking at the next topic real quick? The thing is kind of crazy. They talking about mental health a lot. They're saying like people, the average person can't afford probably therapy like that, bro. I'm
Okay.
talking about the average person.
Yeah, I mean, but there's other options. Like like
I
I
know
said,
prayer and stuff.
no prayer. Like, but researching your condition, like,
Yeah, that's
do
what
some,
I'm understanding, right.
exactly. Like, well, why am I scared of this? Why I can't get close to a woman or close to a man. Why do I have a fear of this? Why do I get anxiety? Or you didn't know what anxiety is. Like maybe you should look like, well, I get nervous in certain situations. You gotta, nobody gonna tell you have anxiety. You know what I mean? You gotta read that and look at that. Matter of fact, inquire what your talk to your primary care doctor and see if what's covered and what's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? You might get 1 hour of therapy a year. You qualify for that. Use it. Use the internet. Use these resources. Yeah. Look at videos, scripture, prayer. Don't say, I can't afford a therapist and cross your hands.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of, you know,
I know they push
to
it
each his own.
Though. They push it a lot, like on like social media and stuff. But a good therapist, what do you think about $50 to $100 an hour?
It's a hawk.
Is it? Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a hawk.
He's trying to get that squirrel.
So, like, a good therapist was $50 to $100 an hour?
Yeah, but it's all kind of alternative options. If you trust your spiritual leaders and you got a good church, hey, they offered. I go to a church. They have a really good grief counseling ministry there. You know what I mean? Run by some good people. Yeah. You know what I mean? Educated. You trust them. You know what I mean? But that's a good relationship with your church and spiritual leaders and things like that.
For sure.
You want to just try to grow and get information, and don't have the same problems that you had 10 years ago. You know what I mean? That you have now. That's you just want to try to heal and just be kind of unbroken. You know what I mean?
Get us. You can. Like, nobody's perfect, but you can get close as you can.
Fill in. Sometimes you can fill in your own blanks.
You can. That's true.
You know what I mean? Or at least try to. And people are like, with mates, mentors, jobs, people really notice effort. Yeah. And a lot of times people are like, if you don't have a lot of money or you're not as pretty as you want to be, men and women notice the effort. Like he sees you in the gym, like he's more attracted to the effort than your actual beauty. Well, if a woman see you going to school, you trying, you going to therapy.
To a woman off effort more than beauty?
Yeah.
You can say that 100%. You can say.
Yeah, okay, let's say she's not where she needs to be physically, but I see, man, that's a person that's working hard. I'm going to be more attracted to her than this pretty girl who's never had long term. Long term, if somebody has a consistent discipline in the way they look and they feel, and that's important to them, and you can see them working on that, they get used to working on it. They get used to doing the work. This person's been pretty all their life. Right. They've been slim all their life. Right. Baby number 2, the weight's not coming off. They don't even know how to work out. Right. They just expect the weight to fall off. Right. That's going to be an ugly characteristic. Yeah. Seeing somebody every day, baby, I'm still fat. What do I do? I don't know. And this and that, you know what I mean? Like it's a problem. So I'm going to be long-term more attracted to the personality and the strength and probably the physical beauty of that person that works hard. That's just me. Because I can see the effort. I can see my life with the person with that kind of work ethic. Right. Our life growing together. This person is going to teach my children that work ethic because it's in them. Yeah. They self-motivated. They know who they are and they know who they want to be and they want to work for that. A big button smile, won't get that.
That's why I asked you that question, because a lot of people don't understand. Everybody's attracted to different things, but the results speak for, what you're attracted to. You just attract to a big button smile, that's going to show the results, going to show that.
And that brings us to our next topic. Does getting what you want stop you from getting what you need? So you spend so much time chasing that big button and smile, but you want to be a doctor. Now you're missing scholarship deadlines, homework. You're spending time trying to get what you want because you deserve what you want. Right. But it's keeping you away from your goal to being who you need to be. Matter of fact, exactly. Yeah. And matter of fact, if she's attracted to you and your potential to be a doctor, but you chasing her, you lose focus over that. Now she's not even attracted to you no more. Yeah. So, when you're trying to get, matter of fact, trying to get fast money can put you in a situation where you're in jail. Now you can't finish school. You was stripping to go to school, got involved with the wrong type of people. Now you can't go to school. You know what I mean? But you get, you go to school, you pick the major you liked,
Right.
and you got the major you liked and you wanted, but it's not getting you the money.
Right.
It's keeping you from the money you desire,
Right.
or the lifestyle you desire, or even with well, I'm
Let's say
talking
the hot
about them.
topic, right?
Yeah.
Does money make you better, or does it show you who you really are? You know what I'm saying?
So like some people like, well, money changed him, money made him evil. Well, he just can afford to do the things he always wanted to do,
Boy.
and people do that. They're self-governing
Yes.
when they financially whole, so they can do whatever they want to. They can acquire, like Michael Jackson was buying monkeys and giraffes because he don't have it's no limit.
Right. It's like, what do you even buy a monkey? Like, if we want to buy a monkey, who do we even call? We don't even know who to call to buy a monkey. Man.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like,
I don't even know to get a quote. Well, I need a quote.
exactly. And he had a monkey before the internet.
Man, he had a giraffe, bro.
He had a giraffe before the internet. Like, we can just Google where to get a giraffe. He had to call somebody.
Boy.
So he knew people who knew people.
And then the hot topic, right? The Zion Williams, right?
Yeah.
People say, he's with an adult star or whatever. I think what people don't realize is most guys in their 20s, you see something like that on your phone, but the average guy, 90%, maybe 95% of the guys ain't making 200 million, however much you making.
Yeah.
So
he
temptation won't be there for you, but for him, a person that's 22, 23, making that kind of money, say, I wonder if I hit her up on Twitter or just DM her real quick, will she even respond back? I mean, I could take the hit. I got the money. It ain't that much, you know what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, he can throw a little, you know what I mean, cash out $1,000 just for the conversation.
And that's why we say, you got to know yourself. You got to make sure that you hold, because he hit her, and she said she hit him back, and then she already know what to do. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And he's 22, and this dude, and the temptation already there. And she started throwing numbers out and services and give you the menu. I mean,
He said,
what 22-year-old gonna say no to that?
And especially if you solve the skills. So we're talking about a level of temptation when you have that kind of money. You can just reach in your phone and take somebody by the hand and they can be in your life.
Yeah.
They can be in your house in 24 hours.
Yes.
Anybody.
Yeah.
You can look at somebody on TV, talk to somebody, text somebody, Twitter, Instagram, and that person can be in your house. So
and then you go to
he could want that.
You know that there's women there just for NBA players.
Yeah.
They preparing themselves. They trying to get the best outfits they can find, and they trying to put themselves in the forefront. You know what I'm saying?
And
I can't even imagine that, man. Being 22, having 200 million. I was already crazy at 22, so I can't imagine having that kind of money at 200 million.
Yeah, I'd probably be dead.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Headline reads. But then that's another thing too. Like, that's what he sees and he wants it, so he got it. That didn't change him. It just allowed him to get what he wanted.
Right.
His access, his money allowed him to get what he wanted and to do what he truly wants to do. So I kind of gonna argue he does know himself. He knows exactly what he wants, and he's willing to pay the price for what he wants.
I think though we didn't understand when you're young, you don't understand when you do something like this, especially when money's involved. That person's not dependent on you for income. They're not thinking about, well, this ain't gonna last that long. It's only gonna last for maybe a year or two. They thinking that's gonna the much money they was talking about him giving her. She thinking that's gonna be her income.
Well, I mean, I think
because allegedly
as a man
he was giving her $100K a month.
As a man, you got to watch what you say and watch what you do. So if you're telling somebody you're gonna be with them, and maybe you love them, or you promise them this future, and then you putting money behind it to back it up. If somebody was paying me $100,000 a month, I'm thinking they serious. I mean, I don't know how.
You can't think that's gonna last for a long time.
Well, of course, but people usually put their money where their mouth is. So he definitely put his money where
the ultimate dream sale. The ultimate dream sale. That's what
I don't know if it's the ultimate.
22-year-old dudes wish they could do. The average 22-year-old wish they could do that. But that's the ultimate dream sale.
I mean, he was buying something.
Yeah.
I don't think he was selling. I think he was definitely buying.
what I would tell a woman is that's the temptation for a woman, right? This dude giving you 100K a month. I wonder was she even paying taxes, bro? You know what I'm saying? You
I mean,
think about
you know,
that.
you're right.
I hope she got QuickBooks or something. You know what I'm saying? Like a QuickBooks, but I mean, 100K a month. I mean, that's almost $1 million a year. So if a day before a year, is it like what? Oh, excuse me, 1.2.
That's 1.2.
1.2 a year, something like that. Man, that's crazy. But
I mean, but you know, you pay for what you want,
and that's what I'm saying.
and that's what he wanted.
Right.
So why would she think?
You know, we didn't have the other girl pregnant. She thought her money was gonna get cut off.
Well,
So,
no, but her reaction is a lot more emotional just than having money cut off.
and that's what I was about to say. Don't let your emotions um, put you in a position to where you get nothing.
Well,
He
I
never
think
said
you
he was
follow.
gonna cut her off. I don't
Yeah.
know if he did or not. I'm saying, but
But why she get the public shine, and one girl gets the public shine, and then she's just in the dark.
okay, I'm gonna look at this from the other side of the fence kind of lens. I don't care about the shine. Just give me the 100K a month. You know what I'm saying? Who cares about shine, man?
I'm not selling my soul for 100K a month.
Yeah, who cares about shine? But that's just my opinion. But
But
now
I,
she's not
th-
gonna get nothing. She probably couldn't negotiate it. Can you just drop it
I
down
mean,
to
I
50?
really think they were soulmates.
Think who was so man?
Miss Mills and Zion.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they
Why
really
did you
had
let
a.
her get pregnant then?
Hey, I mean,
Couldn't have been soulmates.
if the shoe fits, put it on.
Definitely fit, but they couldn't have been soulmates though. If he got another girl pregnant, man, having her on what's her name? I mean, you got dude paying you money. You got to know that he paying you for a service. And like y'all was dating, he had you. I mean, I guess she said that he never really had her in the room. He never really had her in public like that. What you think? I mean, you're an adult star. I mean, I don't know. Some people's expectations are unrealistic sometimes. I guess I don't know.
But other men do it. And other adult film stars have successful marriages. You know what I mean, things like
And
that.
that's what I'm saying. Like, she just probably ruined her opportunity with other dudes that's probably on that level in that circle.
Why would you say that?
Because if
Oh,
you
she's
Zion,
running.
if
If she
do
go,
Zion like
yeah,
that,
yeah, he paying 100K a month, and you ran your mouth
you
on
blow your
him.
spot up, yeah.
And yeah, okay, I see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I mean,
sometimes
I don't
when you're
think-
emotional. You don't think that far. You're just thinking about right now, right here, right now. You know what I'm saying?
She's a beautiful, talented woman. I think she definitely will find.
You think so?
She should bounce back from that and find a really, really good man. I don't think.
How many dudes gonna talk to a regular dude? Though? They always say it's hard.
She don't
for
want
them
to talk to.
a regular dude.
She don't want to talk to a regular dude. But I mean,
I don't know. I think she's done in that circle, man. Unless there's some other circles she in. But
I think that may have been good advertisement for her. In this
I mean, that kind of deal. That's almost like a supermax deal for a woman that's not playing like in the league or something like.
Yeah, that's.
Where are you guys gonna get that kind of money from, man?
Jesus.
Where do you go from there? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I don't.
100K a month.
I mean, what?
Where do you go from there?
I mean, what kind of services were those?
No, definitely was probably like MGM, Ringling Brothers kind of service.
Hey, I hope everybody all right. You know what I mean?
Circus. Swinging trapeze.
This situation gets resolved peacefully, and maybe some therapy.
Yeah, what's the next topic?
But exact money too. Like John Moran, we talked about this, earlier. But when you get money, you gonna be who you gonna be.
Yeah. Or
You
you
know-
trying to portray this image though.
Exactly. So it's more money, more problems. The real you come out. So he wants to be this. So he pursues this. He pursues that lifestyle because that's what he wants. That's what he wants, and that's who he is, and that's who he wants to be. So he's gonna work toward that goal.
John Morant, buy a gun range, dog. Get you 50 acres, man. And get some dirt burns, buy you a gun range, man. You can shoot all you want. Make a gun channel, so you know what I'm saying? Shoot on the range, bro.
Yeah.
Because the NBA, people don't realize it's not that he didn't do something illegal. It's all about image and branding.
Yeah.
Most people don't even realize like your Facebook account can be the reason why you're not getting a job or the job that you want.
Yeah, government jobs, they look at that,
Yeah.
they check that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They got a whole team.
So what's the next topic?
What's it? Is there a certain order you need to follow to accomplish your goals? Can you do it your way, or is it a certain order? You need to go to college first. You need to do this first before you can be an entrepreneur. Do you need the money, the business? You know what I mean? The family first. Is you supposed to get married, then make your money, or make your money, then get married, right? Because you can attract more bees, you attract better women with the money, but you don't know if they're there just for the money. But attracting a wife too soon can be a distraction, and it can be more responsibility with kids, and can stop you from reaching your goal. So, is it a certain order that you're supposed to follow
Man,
to accomplish your goals?
I know we can say an order because from hindsight, right? But I would say I am glad that I found my wife when I did because we're building together. Because in my opinion, I think it's hard to find somebody once you have built something
Yeah.
because you don't know if that person's
Matter of fact,
coming.
it's too easy.
Yeah,
It's
because you don't
hard.
know what this person's agenda is. You don't know what this person's. You don't know what. I mean, like, why are you coming up talking to me for? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But if you build something with somebody, you know, it's something y'all can enjoy together because y'all built it together. You know what I'm saying?
Thick and thin. There's a person who saw you at your worst,
Boy,
still stayed.
yeah,
She's the brick and the mortar. She's the She is in the foundation. I can't separate what I did and what she did because we were building it
boy,
together.
yep,
Even her degree. You're a part of that because you were supporting, babysitting your own, you watching your kids,
yep,
paying for certain schooling. And when you got your certification, she could have been there helping you study, doing all kind of stuff like this. And you can't separate that business. You know what I mean? You was cutting grass and she was doing the books. You know what I mean? So you can't separate, where your money and your
yeah,
foundation, where your legacy begins and there start. But if you wait till after, maybe you can get a better woman who can meet you with her assets.
right.
She just got much as you, and y'all start there and y'all build together. Or
So from hindsight, right, from 17 to about 30, what do you think the order? From hindsight now, if you were talking to a kid, like what would
I'm,
you say?
I'm simple. I'm not creative. I'm not an artist. I'm not a musician. I would just say, do it. No matter how long it takes you in each stage, just accomplish things. You're gonna have to finish high school,
Yep,
go to college or some kind of trade. Get that out the way early,
yeah,
especially if you got assistance from your parents.
right,
Live there. Maybe to go to you can get a scholarship to go out of state, Ivy League. Do that. If you can't, start at your local community college and just kind of build up. Also working the job,
yeah,
working in the field. If you got to get a job, work in the field
mm-hmm.
that you kind of going to be going into.
Right,
You
that's
know what I
smart.
mean? Doing that to kind of see what you really want, because you still trying to find yourself.
Right,
A lot of things, times people want to find themselves and then start the education or then start the building. Well, some people don't find themselves until they're 35.
that's true.
So you gonna wait to start at 35. So I would just do the school, the professional thing, and you're gonna meet people along the way. If you meet a really really good girl in college, hey, maybe that's your soulmate. Maybe that's your wife. Maybe you reconnect somebody from high school at your first job.
Right,
Maybe that's your wife, or
right,
you just meet somebody on vacation,
right.
and that's your wife. So I think romance, you're supposed to have fun, but I think romance takes a second seat to building yourself and kind of creating wholeness. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
think going back on hindsight, like in between steps, like the big steps, like college, like high school, college. If like my kids when they get probably like during our high school, we're gonna sit down and make a plan on when you graduate, the things that lay some stuff out. Like let's plan this, let's do it like this. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times in our community we're good at visualizing, but we don't put it on paper though. Like we don't visualize the plan on paper. Like I'm gonna graduate high school. I'm gonna look at some colleges. I got the top 3 colleges down. What's some good majors that fit me? Let me write those majors down. Let me do some research. Cause and then back in the day, like I said, we didn't have internet too, so it's kind
Yeah.
of a little bit harder back in the day to do that. But now you can sit down and really make a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like you pick a college now. Now, what day are you gonna go up there and do the application? It's those little things like that that you gotta really sit down and think about.
So some people think you don't have to plan those, but you really do.
You ain't gonna
Another
forget it.
thing,
You'll forget it.
a lot of things, it's got to be by the time you graduate high school, we got to know that's the plan.
Right.
Like college is the plan. It's just maybe figuring out where it's go. I don't need to map that out because I know that's just gonna happen.
Right.
And then sometimes what I think is interesting, sometimes when with the kids, you start from the end and work to where you are.
Right.
Hey, what do you want to be?
Right.
Okay, you want a doctor. Like then we still, I want to make $1 million. Well, how you gonna make $1 million? Well,
Right.
I'm a invent. Yeah, well, I'm gonna be a computer programmer. Like so, okay, well, this is how we gonna get it. And then now, how you gonna be a computer programmer? Well, I'm going to go to this school because it's the best school. Well, how you gonna get in the best school?
Right.
Well, I'm gonna try to do good in high school, get a good ACT, and then, well, what you gonna do to get that? Well, I'm gonna study and work hard and stuff like that. Sometimes working backwards, you know what I mean? Even if your kid wants to be in the NBA, how you gonna be an NBA? Well, I'm gonna be a good D1 college player, and I'm gonna probably try to get drafted first round. What does it take to go to a D1 college? This and that.
When we was talking about, like, so we make a sentence talking about life, right? When you graduate, how to talk to adults now. Now you're
Yeah.
out of school, you know what I'm saying? How to have this self-discipline, you know what I'm saying? Because, women are coming at you different ways now, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be just high school girls talking to you. You're going to have to deal with older women as well. How to deal with people at work, how to deal with attitudes at work, how to deal with personalities, you know what I'm saying? Because every job is always like the same kind of characters, kind of
Yeah.
like a sitcom almost. The same kind of characters. You're going to have a Kramer, you can have a Jerry Seinfeld, you're going to have a Martin, you're going to have a Pam, you're going to have a Gina, you're going to have all these kind of characters.
Yeah, you might be.
You're going to be a character yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you might be in what's that? Friends now.
Boy.
But then when you go to HBCU, now you're in Living Single.
Boy.
Same kind of character, same kind of dynamic,
Yeah.
but it's a different show, and you got to learn those nuances and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And then your successes, you can't get caught up on your success. Well, I graduated college, I'm done. Now you got to still struggle, and they not gonna just give you a job
No.
just because you out of
And
college.
and this when we talking about planning, right? While you in college, you can literally either do interns in the summer or you can plan some kind of exposure to the field that you're going into if you really put in the work. Reason why I'm saying that is I went to school for web development, and because I talked to people and build networks, I was able to get a job at the school in web development. Um, the degree is only part of your toolbox. You still gotta have communication, and you still gotta have a mindset, to be able to articulate what your skills are to this company or wherever you work, so they feel confident in hiring you. You know what I'm saying? So
That you can't just say, well, read my transcript. I made all A's. You know what I mean? It don't really work like that.
what do you think, dog? Next topic,
And that's a personal one for everybody.
boy.
The motivation on why you do things.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
are you able to do things without getting credit or praise?
Good question.
Everybody needs, well, my business ain't working because ain't nobody supporting me, ain't nobody praising me, ain't nobody saying I did a good job. Hey, you got that degree,
Yeah.
that's praise enough. You know what I mean? That's credit enough. You got you got that job, that's credit enough, that paycheck.
Right.
But some people gotta be validated on maybe social media, or if somebody doesn't cheer for you loud enough, they are haters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We all love to get well wishes from our friends and family,
Right.
but do we live for that?
Right. Exactly. Like I was raised in that kind of environment. The older guys I was raised grew up around, they would always tell me that like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, you want a pat on the back now? You know what I'm saying? And I kind of always kind of had that mentality like, I do what I do regardless if somebody see me or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like if I cut grass, it's not because I want somebody to say my name on the bullhorn. Mike's cutting the grass. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to do it. And if I don't want to do it, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do it. But yeah, I've never been that person. I know kids do that a lot. They do that and then they'll look at you to see if they see you doing it, see them doing it, so you can say, yeah, good job, man, good job. But as an adult though, there's so many people that so many people are dealing with. You can't live in that kind of world that every time you do something, you think somebody's gonna give you praise. Sometimes you could be so good at something that people don't even realize you're doing it. So you're
Yeah.
not gonna get praise for it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he
You can be
always
just that good.
he always succeeding. We gotta go. We gotta go to his party every time he graduate. We gotta do something for him. Because of that, like,
But sometimes consistency don't get praise
oh yeah,
because you're consistent and doing it.
you always take care of your kids.
Yeah.
You know, but he Jeremiah meets. Go to one birthday party. Oh, you came. That's
Boy.
good. You bought some diapers because they need that encouragement. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. It's not fair, but people are like kids. Like they really like. People still want to go on vacation. That's like recess for adults.
Yeah.
I mean, like field trips for adults.
Yeah.
You like going to field trips when you're a kid. You probably gonna like taking vacations as an adult.
Yeah.
And you thrive for them things. Those things really motivate you, just like a child. You know what I mean? With their recess and things like that, and their days off. So, but you said you don't get praise for doing what you're supposed to do.
No,
So,
those
no, that's
yeah.
that's the kind of mentality I got. I got it. And for my ex. So, do you think it's the thing? That's like maybe a trauma response. You don't ask for credit, or you don't like let it be known. Hey, man, I'm graduating. Hey, could y'all come to my graduation? You won't say that because you just downplay your own accomplishments because you're just doing what you supposed to do.
I think I had this thing when I was younger is that if you get too comfortable in your celebration, you get complacent.
Yeah,
I think I dealt with that, and I think I just grew up in that culture, man. Because for me, when I deal with people, I'm not a person to say if you got 20 good things, but one bad thing you do is crazy than the 20 good things. You know what I'm saying? Because I see a lot. I analyze all that kind of stuff. So even growing up, you meet a girl, something like that, you notice the little things. You know what I'm saying? Like you notice that she picky or needy or something like that. But if that outweighs the good stuff, you know what I'm saying? Of course you're gonna put it in the category. But if the good outweighs that, everybody has stuff we got to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line. Everybody has something you got to deal with. Like I say, some of the dudes don't understand this, but your perspective changed when you're younger. When we was younger and you see a pretty girl, you like, man, she pretty. But when you get older, you see a pretty girl, you be thinking like, everybody got to be something else to that. You know what I'm saying?
You see a headache.
She probably even clean up her room or something. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy.
You anticipate a problem with something.
What else to come with that?
And that's a trauma response too.
Yeah,
like from experience, because like I know good things come with a catch.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's a mentality that people.
Growing up in the hood, like we talking about the burger, people sell you the Big Mac on the picture.
Yeah.
It's all put together and everything, the cheese, but when you get the burger in real life, the cheese hanging off on the side.
It's not melted.
Yeah. And then, the sesame seeds missing off the bun, you know what I'm saying?
The rat's been chewing on them.
Yeah, it's not as advertised. So, the people living in the hood, somebody trying to sell you a dream or trying to scam you. Even now on social media, right? You hear all these people saying, like, a lot of the people who doing good on social media, they kind of scammers.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't even want to say the people's name, but
Yeah, because
like they be talking about financial advice or something. And they say, oh, yeah, them dudes scammers.
I did.
Network of scammers, and they
Yeah.
good at talking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Another thing too, like you said, you learn not to celebrate big accomplishments because that leads to complacency, and then some of us are guilty for celebrating our own accomplishments because it's looked at as bad. Well, you won't settle for that. You need to celebrate yourself.
That's true. Yeah.
And have little goals for yourself, and there ain't nothing wrong with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, don't count your eggs before they hatch. Look, I made A in the first quarter or in the first half of this class. I'm gonna get happy because that's good for me.
Right.
Well, you could fail at the end, but I'm not thinking negative. I'm thinking I'm doing that good in the beginning.
Right.
I can finish strong. So I don't think celebrating or congratulating yourself is a jinx.
Right.
Some people attach negativity to bragging. Hey, it's a little bit. You got to be a little bit braggy on yourself.
Oh, definitely got to be right?
just a little bit.
Because people will never give you would. This is another thing, right? As an adult, you would never get full credit for who you are because everybody don't know everything that you do.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like me working in IT, how many people really know what I do in IT? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like even if I try to explain it to them, like I don't know what you're talking about, man. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But people that work in IT know what I do. You know what I'm saying? But the person like that I talk to, like the average person, they would like I don't even know what that is. What is HTML? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
What is JavaScript? I don't know what that is. But you play with websites every day. You know what I'm saying? So and you got to be okay with that. Like some people are not okay with that. They sensitive. Like they not okay with not getting credit. They gotta have the credit. Like I don't gotta have the credit. Like I didn't work the job. I worked for credit. I didn't work for that. Some people do. That's your preference. I'm saying I don't let that hinder me from being produce more. You know what I'm saying?
Some
I'm
people,
always like, what's next? Now I did this move. Now what's my next chess move? I'm that kind of person. You know?
yeah, some people are more happy or look forward to the praise more so than the accomplishment. Like, I got a degree, that's okay.
Yeah.
But ooh, that party I had,
Yeah.
or that that trip I took in celebration of that, you don't really even remember, the degree. They just put
Yeah.
that on, yeah.
Exactly.
As long as people celebrate me, so.
Yeah. So what's our last one? We're gonna end it off with this one. It's probably be a good one right here.
Elders complaining about the youth in the circumstances they put the youth in.
This is generally speaking. We don't want nobody to think we talking about them or nothing like this. This is generally speaking, right?
Yeah, why? Like a good one is why you don't live by yourself. You should have been to move out of my house, but I'm paying half the rent here, so
Yeah.
how can I save up to buy my own when I'm paying 50, 75% of the bills here,
Right.
and then you still want me to move out your house that I'm paying for?
Right.
And that's like gouging your kids for their little part-time job money. Well, you got to pay that light bill. That's $200. Well, that check a month is $400.
And then tell them they gotta save. Like how can I save?
You take half my money. Uncle Sam taking a quarter,
Boy,
and then you telling me to save, and I got to buy my own clothes
man.
for school.
Yep.
So putting your kids in a position like that,
And then you hear a
or
lot.
messing up their credit
You
too.
hear like at jobs and stuff. You hear a lot of the older guys. They be saying like these young dudes out here just doing crazy stuff. But it's like you raising them in the hood though. Like what do you expect like from a kid that's growing up in the city? It's like trying to expect a bed full of flowers to grow through concrete. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? How many flowers really gonna grow through the concrete? If you did 10 flowers, maybe one,
yeah,
maybe. You know what I'm saying? And that's if it got a crack in it. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? It can get out the crack. You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes they throw out like a lot of dudes be saying, these kids now, are crazier than it was when they were. But it's almost the same thing. Maybe the weapons are different, or maybe the times are different, but the dress was different. But and the decisions, some of the decisions, like you're raising these kids in the projects and expecting them not to take on the environment that they in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's hard. That is insanely hard. Like that's hard.
They gotta live, but don't adjust to it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or they gotta
It's not
adjust, but
giving them
not
no excuses
conform.
either, but you gotta look at like the whole totality of the picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You can't expect every kid that's in the project is gonna be model citizens because it doesn't show model citizens in the projects. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It just don't. You know what I'm saying? But
You
sometimes people I don't know, it's like they overlook that part. You know what I'm saying?
you know, using your kids' credit. They start off with a
Boy,
negative credit score, and they 19, and you tell them to go get their own place, or get their own car,
right,
and they don't know why they credit bad,
right,
this terrible. They have 17 accounts in their name.
yeah,
And then even for the successful ones, like, well, why didn't you do like I did? Well, my dad wasn't a lawyer,
right, exactly.
and he didn't have this and that,
Boy,
starting off with.
yeah.
Or,
I didn't have a
my
credit score.
mom, yeah, my mom didn't own 3 businesses.
Yeah,
Like they didn't give me my first car, they didn't pay for college, so things were like, easier for me. Houses weren't $20,000,
right.
when I became an adult.
I guess what I'm saying is like for me, I can't tell my son. I would tell him, like, talk to him about the importance of just having one woman and investing in that one woman time and that one woman. But he was to very often do that, I couldn't be like super critical of him. I would have to tell him from my experience why it's not good, because I went down that path of chasing women. But I can't tell him I don't understand why he chasing women. What you mean? You did it. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. A lot of dudes, they'll say that, but they was packing pistols back then too. You know what I'm saying? And doing crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, and some people think kids forget that. It's like, dude, my dad. I had homeboys say, but then my dad telling me not to be a thug, and he was a thug. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? He still is a thug. You know what I'm saying? And that's the crazy part too. Like sometimes, parents don't realize your kids remember more than probably what you think.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe you should ask them if you're not afraid of what they're gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? And I think sometimes, just generally speaking, that sometimes you get lost in that. Like, it's like, man, why are these kids doing that? Like, why is it so crazy on TV? Well, it started somewhere. It just didn't start with them. You know what I'm saying? You can't let your kids go to gladiator school, then expect them to come out and be model citizens, man. They're gonna be gladiators, man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of what it is. Sometimes the projects wasn't a movie like the Coliseum. What's the movie with Russell Crowe?
What? Yeah.
Gladiator, man. And you don't even see it because you're going to work every day. Your kids go to the bus stop. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to affect them for so long, and they're going to end up, like my principal told me, he's either going to end up being like them. When you keep defending yourself, you're going to end up being like them, or you're going to be worse. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a choice of who you're around. But when you're in the hood, you don't have a choice who you're around. You just don't. I mean, the only way that we did was stand in the house playing video games. You know what I'm saying?
What?
That kind of keeps you isolated a little bit.
And that's a problem too.
Yeah, people complain about that now. Kids, they don't realize that keep kids out of trouble. The games, sometimes the games do. You know what I'm saying? But because it seems like in the hood it's so easy to get in trouble than it is to not get in trouble.
What?
Like it's around every corner, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, the Xbox, man, changed the game. It kept me out of a lot of trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? Wish it would have stopped me from chasing the girls, but I don't think nothing can stop that.
Yeah.
And that's what parents got to understand. You got to understand, like in the inner city, it's always it's different kind of vices for different kids. Everybody kind of get caught up in some kind of web. You hope not, but it's either drugs, girls, gangs, fraud, like credit fraud.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Theft and stuff.
stealing,
Yeah. Because the love of money,
Murder.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're 19, you expect to have the money of a 45-year-old college professor or doctor.
Yeah.
Because that's the expectation in your
Social
head.
media, yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not, you're not going to have that unless you do something drastic.
Boy. For real.
And sometimes
That might not
drastic.
even
Yeah,
last.
some,
Might not
yeah.
even get enough. We dudes going to jail that robbed a bank and they ain't even get 10 grand, man. Went to a small bank and robbed it, man.
What?
And then dudes sometimes they'll get away and they're gonna rob it again.
I mean, because it's just out of the money.
It's the kind of crazy stuff, man. And then think about some of these kids, they live with their parents doing this. Like, how do you hide $10,000 living with your parents, man?
What?
You just came from a bank robbery, you got away, but now you gotta take $10,000 in your room.
And
And you don't even wash your own clothes or nothing. You know what I'm saying? You got $10,000 in your room. How do you hide that? And you got a family of 5 or something like that. Like everybody don't share the same room. I mean, it's the kind of crazy. We don't talk about that behind the scenes stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty crazy. But yeah, guys, we get ready to close out, man. We just want to come by, man. Stop by, say what's up.
hit you real quick, a day in the park.
Stay in the park. Sun's starting to get pretty out here, man. It's starting to go down there. Not as hot now.
What?
Yeah, if we get ready to sign out, hit the like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Give us some feedback. Oh, I know what it was. I'm sorry. Before we close, it was a guy. His name is the Fritz. I think he was a commenter. I don't know if you've seen it yet. He was telling me that when I said, why is it hard for like a minority black male, like the percentages, like why is it hard for them to really break through? He said that he thought that was a false narrative.
Oh, yeah, it was
He
just,
think it's a false narrative.
all right.
He thought we was talking about like victimhood. Like, no, I'm not talking about victimhood. I'm talking about real life.
Just these things happened in my life.
Yes.
They didn't
I told him
happen. Then they didn't happen in yours.
Right.
You know, my starting point was here.
Yeah.
Maybe yours was there.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're talking about our experiences and things we see.
Yeah, and things we know. Yeah.
Overcoming takes effort,
And
right?
endurance, yeah, sure. Mental endurance, for sure.
You know, studying.
Even if you take the start away, right? You got two guys. I've seen this with my own two eyes. Matter of fact, I was working at the airport, and there was a guy there, right? An orange.
Yeah,
I'm an apple, right? I was taking him somewhere. He was finna get ready to change shifts. He had somebody call him and say, "Hey, I got a job for you right now." And he's like, "Dude, I don't even have the experience. Don't worry about it. Just come do it. I got you." How many of us got that kind of pull like that? It don't happen as much. It don't.
yeah.
You sometimes you do, but it's not as much, not the same frequency. That's what I'm trying to say. Am I tripping? No. I understand that's just the way it is. But I'm not gonna let it stop me. But I do understand there's gonna be hurdles that I'm gonna have to jump at the same time.
You
Never
know,
claim to be
and then you gotta think about it. Okay, how many presidents have we had?
boy.
And then how many presidents were like a Barack Obama?
Right.
And that's how easy it is to become president, right? So if one can do it, anybody can do it, right?
Exactly.
So why is
Talking about that, yeah.
why is the frequency like so far between?
Right.
We had one
And then like I was
throughout
telling
the
you,
history of America. You know what I mean? If it's not harder, well, the presidency is a hard job. Well, to get, this is just a reflection in every work field
yeah.
like that.
I mean,
It's 50-1.
you can go to public records, right? And you can look at, let's say if you go look at some like a government agency, probably in any state, if you look at the top salaries in the race, you know what I'm saying, and all that, it will tell you so much. The data, the analytics of it, you know what I'm saying?
But they saying that speaks for itself. The qualifications don't match.
Some of them don't even have just
Exactly. But you got to look at that. But if you never experienced that, why would you even look at it?
Right.
You will take everything at face value.
Exactly.
You're trying to be a victim. It ain't no favoritism. It ain't no privilege. Ain't nothing that don't exist.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
They're
And then we don't own nothing. When you don't own nothing, you really can't complain about that because you're in somebody else's system. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I don't complain about it. I'm just saying it's real though. You got to be able to endure it though at the same time.
just because you struggle doesn't mean somebody else didn't struggle more.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I had to struggle too, but it wasn't to the same degree, and you almost buckled.
Right.
You almost buckled several times. And so it's hard to believe that somebody could be going through something worse than you because, this almost buckled. I got a divorce. I was shattered. I don't see my kids. You know what I mean?
Sometimes people just give you an opportunity. You don't even get that. Like, man, I'm just going to give you an opportunity to see what you got. Sometimes you don't even get that. It's like, nah, man, we ain't got nothing. We good. We don't got nothing. We not hiring. And then another person come in, oh, yeah, come on in, man. I got you, man.
And he wasn't talking about victim. He just talking about what he saw every day or what I saw every day. Living in projects. You know what I mean. And then you can do the blame game. Well, your parents should have did better. Well, their parents should have did better. And then their great grandparents should have never been slaves. You wouldn't have to worry about this. You're passing the blame to somebody else. Well, and then not taking accountability. Well, I never owned. Workers that work for free.
Right.
You know what I mean? I never owned another human.
Right. So pretty much what we're saying is we have to try to teach our youth. It's not about saying you're going to face unfairness, but you have to work through that. You have to still break through that brick wall. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the bricks are hard. They freshly built. You still got to break through it. You know what I'm saying?
Expect
Sometimes
it.
the first person who break through will probably get hurt the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For everybody else to run through that wall. You know what I'm saying?
And then to expect it sometimes. Sometimes you expect it and don't get it. That's good.
Exactly.
But you still got to be aware of it.
Right.
I raise my kids to work through it, know it's coming, and if it don't come, great.
Exactly.
If it do, you're kind of prepared. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I wanted to address that. I don't know why he took out there, but yeah, man, I wanted to address because he just kept coming, like being trolling. I was like, dude, cut it out, man. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I ain't never blamed nobody for my mistakes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not where I am right now, but it's not too late to get there. And we have the opportunity to get there. And just because you have the opportunity, that's not a golden ticket.
boy.
You still gotta work
Yeah,
like, well, it's affirmative action,
ain't
like,
say
you know what I
Willy
mean?
Wonka, dog.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even in Willy Wonka, some of them didn't make it out.
Exactly. And they got the golden ticket. And they still got, you know what happened to them.
But yeah, guys, now we finna sign out though. Like, share, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Hit us up in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we signing out.